What's happening, everyone? Time for another malt review. That's Mikey. I'm Narby.
What's up?
Time for another high-end whiskey, another sample. You're gonna see a lot of these because we're not stopping with the samples.
That's how we do it.
We obviously have so many bottles to review, but when we want to try these, and since it's only a sample to try, if we don't review it right away when we're trying it, then the review won't happen because we're not going to buy another sample of it. You try the sample, you either buy the full bottle or you just kind of end it right there. We were so impressed with a recent 1968 vintage Glendronach that we did. It was a 44-year-old.
Cask 5.
Yeah. And now we have
even older.
Yeah, a single cask Glendronach 1968 from the special release. It's single cask special release batch 13 from Glendronach.
Came out very recently.
It's a Pedro Jimenez cask, and it's cask number 5837. It's a 47-year-old.
Boom.
47-year-old whiskey here. A 1968 vintage single cask Glendronach, bottled at 45.9% ABV. Again, I'll show you guys the little label so you guys can see it. Super excited to try something as special as this, something as expensive as this, collectible as this. Love Master of Malt for putting high-end whiskeys like this on samples.
Oh yeah.
Obviously very expensive to get a small amount for a lot of money, but it makes it doable. So we've been letting this guy breathe for about 15 to 20 minutes. And without further ado, Pedro Jimenez Sherry, 47 years old. We're looking at a very rich, dark color.
Perfect color for a 47-year-old Pedro Jimenez, like dark mahogany. Beautiful.
And without further ado, on the nose. Wow, it's like... Wow, it's like ecstasy. It's amazing.
Wow. It's exactly what you'd expect. It's going to take a while to dive into everything.
Yeah, this is so complex. It's paradise on the nose. It's like 25,000 fruits just came up. Just bundles of intense perfumes and spices and flowers and honeys and chocolates and toffees and caramels and just dark flavors and sugars and just lusciously,
and old, a lot of that.
It explodes up.
Yeah, a lot of that old moldy sherry, like the 1960s stuff, like old dusty books and old dusty furniture and old leather, along with all those beautiful dark fruits, explosive fruits you'd expect. This is just exactly what you want for a nose in an old sherry whiskey. This is awesome.
It's very sweet. It's not too sweet, at least on the nose. It's not too sweet. It's like high-end rum sweet. It's high-end 100-year-old cognac sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a perfect point.
Yeah, it's got like figs and dates and raisins, and we say those flavors a lot with high-end with sherried whiskeys, but when you're talking about this particular one, it's like in the richest, most dense, concentrated way, you know.
There's a big difference, between the quality.
Yeah.
And this actually noses closer to like 55%.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome.
This is
powerful.
Absolutely powerful beast. I would for sure guess this is around 55%. Completely agree. It's so waxy and resinous. Like the honey is like, it's like the sweet flavors are like a resined version, and that basically means you take this much of something and you mush it in. It turns it into like, it's just so intense and concentrated. That's the word, yeah.
This is nuts. Oh my god, this is beautiful.
It's very dessert-like though. It's extreme. It reminds me of a cognac.
It does.
Very,
No, it does.
very sweet.
No, yeah.
That's the Pedro Jimenez versus the Oloroso.
Yeah.
Very sweet kind of sherry.
It's screaming for a fat, peppery Cuban cigar after a beautiful steak dinner. Big time.
It's for sure dessert. You don't want to have dinner, dessert, and then this. This is for sure like,
Oh yeah.
Dinner or empty palate as we like to do it. Don't eat all day sometimes and just drink a bunch of water and drink high-end spirits on an empty palate to fully experience all of it. This is one of those where we did let it breathe for 15 to 20 minutes before. We could nose this for 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could just nose this for hours and hours and get new stuff.
This is insane. There's so much going on in here.
It's super sweet. You know what I actually had earlier today is I had lychee fruit.
Yeah.
And it's such a sweet fruit. It's reminding me of that sweet fruit. So it's even stuff like lychee and kiwi and candied orange peels, just really sweet orange and sweet citrus fruits and.
But now I'm actually getting. This is crossing over into like an similar aged Karuizawa Japanese whiskey where I'm getting like candied bacon and candied like gamey meats.
Absolutely,
That's just an extra layer of complexity.
The meatiness is coming out, absolutely, and I think bacon is the perfect one.
Yeah, so
brown
it
sugar
started like so sweet and cognac-y at first, like Narby said, but now it's expanding a little bit.
But it's sweet. It's like burnt bacon with brown sugar on top.
Bingo.
With barbecue sauce on top.
Bingo.
Because it has smokiness to it too. As it's sitting in the baconiness it's coming, it's getting smoky as well.
Exactly.
Spend time with this whiskey if you ever get a chance to try it. Little burnt elements, right?
Oh yeah.
Slightly burnt. Like almost getting some elements of matchsticks, but not sulfur, but like
good matchsticks.
Yeah, just like matchsticks,
or like toasted oak, or like charred cask, charred
Yes.
barrel,
Totally.
charred oak. It's perfect.
Ah,
That's brilliant.
shall we?
We shall.
Excuse me, I just burped. It was the most delicious burp ever. I'm amazed that 47-year-old Pedro Jimenez sitting in a cask for that long is that luscious on the palate. Is it just me, or is it just the first sip?
Mm-mm.
It's giving me everything. It's giving me some leathery aspects. Slightly, the wood play is so beautiful, but I'm getting all those rich cooked fruits and the bacon and the barbecue sauce and those charred elements and the rich honeys and the rich raisins and the cooked berries from the apple skins to the peaches and plums. It's just like all of it is in there. The figs, the dates, just the rum sweetness, the cognac sweetness. It's the maximum amount of sweetness that I can handle in terms of me, but it has to be a dessert whiskey.
And how many times have I said that on other Glendronach single casks that are younger, that's kind of how it is. It's like, it's very sweet and it's amazing, but it's the maximum sweetness I can handle. And sometimes it's too much, but that's kind of what Glendronach plays with. That's kind of their shtick, but usually it plays just perfectly.
Yeah, and people come to me all the time and they're like, what's your favorite whiskey? And I'm like, well, it depends. Am I Am I just hanging with the guys, having a drink, or am I with my girl after dinner and we're sitting by the fire? Like, there's so many different times. Am I chilling with Mike and we're lining a bunch of them up and we want to end with the best one? Like, there's so many different ways of having whiskey. This is up there with the dessert whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
And I would not order dessert. Let's say I have steak and potatoes, and then afterwards I want a dessert. This would be the dessert, and this is way up there when it comes to that. So, something I would go to for something like that. So there's never really. I do personally have an ultimate favorite, but when it comes down to someone asking me, hey, what's your favorite whiskey, daily grab on, it just depends. It really depends on what I ate. It depends on what time of day it is, how hot it is outside, all those elements. But basically what I'm trying to say is this is a sweet whiskey and maximum amount of sweetness that I would want for my whiskey. One more sip on the palate.
Oh my god, boy. Wow.
So good.
Oh, that's perfect.
It really is. It really is the perfect dessert. I don't know how much I have to add, but the second sip just confirms, again, the shock value for me is how accurate the nose and the palate are together, and how luscious and not overly dry it is on the palate. Because the palate doesn't say young whiskey, it screams old whiskey, but it's luscious at the same time.
And again, especially with an old whiskey, you want a little bit of those drying,
of course,
oaky elements.
Of course.
And I'm extremely sensitive to it, and it's the perfect amount for me, which means it's gonna be the perfect amount, if not better, for him.
For me, it's such an amazing score, and it's almost being harsh. It's just an amazing, amazing whiskey, and I'm going to give it an amazing score. It's a 95. 95 out of 100 for me.
I give it a 95 as well.
Yeah. Absolutely awesome whiskey. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Click the like button, and we'll be back for more. Please comment below if you guys have any suggestions. We definitely try to answer every question that people have, and we enjoy talking to all you guys. Thanks for the support. Cheers.
Cheers.
Your low battery came. Oh no. Yeah.
It stopped it.